Hi, it's Jodie and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be filming my April TBR. So last month's TBR did not go to plan at all. I think I read one book from my TBR, so yeah. And this month's TBR is already changed again. Okay, so I'm already not off to a good start because one of the books that's on my TBR for this month I cannot find anywhere. I don't know where I put it. So I wrote some of my April TBR down and it's changed again. So I did put for April, I wanted to read Skyward, City of Ashes, Discovery, Witches, Ruin and Rising, Angel, Mage and Voyager. So some of that is still true. Skyward, I don't know if I'll read this month, maybe, we'll see. My TBR is exceptionally big this month. Now, I am not planning to read all of these books. I don't think I will even read half of these books. And I don't know if I will read any of these books, so yeah. I'm in one of those really weird reading moods where I just don't know what I want to read. It is changing all the time. Every time I finish a book I'm in the mood for a completely different book that's not on my TBR, so that was the case last month. It's probably going to be the case this month. I have this very big pile here. So yeah, you can see really big TBR, and then there is several other books that are on this TBR that aren't in this pile. So yeah, Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo is one of them. I just don't know where it is. I have put it somewhere, I just don't know where. But yeah, I want to read that because it's the last book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I've been putting it off for a while because of how much I didn't like the second book, so I think I should just get it out of the way. So that is on my TBR, so I just thought I'd say that. Skyward as well is one of those I might not, so I'm not including it physically. But this is all the other books that I'm going to talk about today that are on my April TBR. So as you can see, this is extremely ambitious. Wow, nice double chin there. This is a very ambitious TBR, and it's probably going to change throughout the month. But these are the books that I'm planning on reading at the moment. So the first book is The Court of Miracles, and this is by Kester Grant. So this isn't actually out yet. I think it comes out in May or June. It's basically sort of a reimagining of Les Mis. I never say that right, I think it's Les Mis or something. And The Jungle Book is how this has been marketed. This is basically about a girl, I can't remember her name, I think her name was Nina, and she ends up becoming a thief. She's like a really good cat burglar, and she's part of the Thieves Guild, and there are 9 guilds, and this is set in Paris. Where there's a royal monarchy and all that, who don't really care about all the residents of Paris, and as a result there has been these 9 guilds formed, and it is called the Court of Miracles. So our main character is in the Guild of Thieves, and she has an adopted sister called Etty, and something happens where Etty becomes in danger, and Nina is willing to do anything and everything she can to keep her safe, which might mean starting a war between all the guilds. So yeah, that's the basic premise for this book, and yeah, I really want to read this. I can't wait to read this. I already have the nice little hardback pre-ordered on Waterstones, which is signed, so I will link that down below because I've heard really good things, and yeah, that's hopefully going to be first on my list. So these 3 books I'm going to talk about in one go, hoping to read all of them this month, but I don't know if I will. And that is the Illuminate trilogy, I think it's what it's called, Illuminate Files trilogy. I have started Illuminate. I'd started this on my reading vlog. I was like on page 16, and now I'm like on page 100 and something of this. And yeah, not loving it, but I still want to read the trilogy. Sorry if you can hear Hoover in the background. My mum's decided now is a great time to Hoover. But yeah, I really want to read this trilogy. I've heard so many people talking about it. I've had it on my shelf for like 2 or 3 years now, and I thought it was about time that I read it. I tweeted to see if it was a quick read. Most people said that it was, so that's why I've added all 3 to my TBR, because they're in a format where it's kind of like this weird text kind of format. So I'm hoping I can get through all 3 this month. And yeah, it's set in space as far as I know, and there's a whole like war thing going on, and the main characters were in a relationship but they broke up, and that's pretty much all I know. So I have started it. The format I'm struggling with, but I think I can probably still read all 3, and I do want to because I have them. So they are on my TBR for this month. I really want to read more middle grade books, and this is just one that I've had on my shelf for quite a while, and it's so cute, and I just really want to read the whole series, but I only have this book. And this is the Amelia Fang series, so I think this is the first book, I could be wrong. This is just the only one I've got, and it has nice little orange sprayed edges. This is marketed for ages 5 to 8, I believe, and it's Amelia Fang and the Barbaric Ball, and this is by Laura Ellen Anderson. Oh, I forgot to say, Illuminae Files is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, but you probably already knew that. Back to this book. So yeah, this is by Laura Ellen Anderson, and this follows Amelia Fang, who's a little vampire. Mum's throwing some kind of ball, and the prince of where she's from is coming to that ball, and she's got to try and become friends with him to impress her parents and the king. And then the prince ends up capturing her pet squashy, which I think is this little pumpkin, and she has to go on this little dangerous journey to try and rescue him. So that's pretty much all I know. I just think this is so cute. I love anything like this, and the cover was what drew me to it. It's middle grade, so it's gonna be an easy one, and it does have some really nice illustrations. I started reading it. I'm on page 24, and yeah, I just really want to read more middle grade. Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, I think is his YouTube name, did a vlog where he read the entire series, and I really want to do that, but I just don't have the entire series, so I can't do it yet. But I'm going to read the first one. He said these are really, really great, and I trust his opinion, so I can't wait to read this. I just think it's really cute. So I've put it on my TBR because I do plan to read it this month. The next book is completely different to the middle grade I just talked about, and it's a very, very big book. It is over 1,000 pages long. I don't know if I'll finish it. I'm going to be listening to the audio for this book, and this is the third book in the Outlander series. So this is Voyager, and this continues the story of Jamie Fraser and Claire, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to give any spoilers because it is the third book. So I'm going to be listening to it on audio because it would take me months to get through this, especially with some of the like Gaelic dialect in there and things like that. So yeah, I'm excited to read this because I want to see what happens next, and I like the narrator. I think her name's Davina Porter or something like that. I might be getting mixed up with someone else, but it's Davina something, and the narrator's amazing for this series, and I really enjoyed it so far. So I'm hoping to at least start the audio. I probably won't finish it because I listen to the audio for these books mostly when I'm driving to and from work, but because of the whole COVID-19 thing, I'm not working because my work's closed, so therefore I'm not driving and not listening to the audio for this. So I don't know when I'll get a chance to listen to the audio while I'm at home, because I'm rather be physically reading than just sitting staring into space and listening to the audio. So I don't think I will finish it this month, but I want to at least get half of it listened to. We'll see. But yeah, but Voyager by Diana Gabaldon is definitely on my April TBR. Next is another big book, and this is a book that I don't know if I will definitely read this month, because I think it's a book I'm going to need to be in the mood for because it's quite big, and it's adult fantasy. And it's a book I've wanted to read for the longest time, and I've had it on my shelf for quite a while, and I've watched the TV series and I loved it, and I love everything about this book and all the characters and everything, so I'm really excited to read it. I just don't know if I will because, like I said, I need to be in the mood for it. I'm hoping to pick it up some point this month, and that is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. So I've not read this series yet, and I'm quite disappointed in myself for not reading it yet because I love the TV series for this. So I don't know why I haven't read it, I just haven't picked it up. I think it's because it was quite big, just under 700 pages long, so I'm hoping to get to it this month. Like I said, don't know if I will. I'm going to need to be in the mood for it. But this follows our main character, Diana, and she is a scholar or professor at Oxford University, I think it is, and she basically discovers this manuscript that's very old that has been really sought after by a range of magical and supernatural people. So she is the only one who somehow has managed to find this, and it's very important to a lot of dangerous people, and as a result attracts the attention of said people, and she ends up meeting this vampire. I think his name is Matthew. So it's Matthew, and a forbidden romance kind of sparks between the two because he's a vampire, she is actually a witch that she didn't really 100% know about, and she is a very powerful witch, but she doesn't know that either. And this manuscript basically contains a lot of information from their past that can help them with their future. So a lot of bad people also want this, and that's pretty much all I know about it. That's based off the TV series as well. Yeah, I can't wait to read this. I just don't know if I'll definitely pick it up this month, but hopefully at some point I do. Next is going to be an audiobook that I talked about this briefly. So I reread the first book in this series last month, and I am going to continue reading the series, but I'm going to be listening to them via audio because I cannot physically read these books. I just don't really like the writing or the characters, and for some reason audio just seems to be a lot more enjoyable than physically reading it. So that is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. So this is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I did start the audio. I'm only on page 59, which was like a week ago. I haven't started listening to it again since. I really want to get the audio done for this month. This just continues the story of Clary and Jace and all the stuff to do with the Mortal Cup basically. So yeah, just a continuation of the story. It's on my TBR because I want to read the whole series. Maybe even I'll start the third book on audio because the audio is quite easy. This is the proof version. I've got the finished version, I just don't know where I put it. But it is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I've heard so many people talk about this book, so many people love it, and I just have not got around to reading it. I've tried, I think I've added this to so many TBRs, and then they just never made like the final TBR. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I really want to. It sounds like I really love it. So I thought I'd add it to this month's TBR. Whether or not I'll pick it up, I don't know. I tried to start it last month and for some reason put it down after 10 pages to read something else. Not because there was anything wrong with it, I just don't think I was in the mood for it. This is like kind of like a YA thrillery crime book, and I'm not going to go into detail what it's about because I think everyone knows what this book's about, and you know, the title is quite explanatory of it. But yeah, I really want to read this book because it's just been on my TBR for so long, and it's not very long either, and the sequel is due out this year, so I really do need to read it. So I've added this to my TBR for this month in the hopes that I'll finally read it. This next book is a book that I picked up last month. My friend Charles talked about this book and she absolutely loved it, and she loved the sequel. Is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. This is fantasy, and this follows a princess called Laura who's some kind of lethal spy. I don't actually know a ton about it. I just heard that it was a really, really good fantasy, and Charlotte talks about it, and I've seen a few people talk about it on Instagram, so that's simply the reason I got it. And I don't want to know too much about it. It's quite a short book, and I just want to go into it without knowing a lot, so I enjoy it more because I tend to enjoy my fantasy books more when I don't know a ton about them. So I will link this book below if you want to actually know a decent premise for it. But I'm really excited for it because, like I said, I've heard really, really good things about this, and the sequel is on audio, so if I enjoy this then I will pick up the sequel. So yeah, that is The Bridge Kingdom. Next is another book that has been out for ages, but I've just got the proof copy here. I have ordered the hardback and a signed edition, but it just hasn't come yet. This came out ages ago. It came out like the end of last year. I think it was October last year this came out, and I just haven't gotten to it. But this is an adult fantasy, and I haven't actually heard a lot of people talk about it, but I've recently become obsessed with anything to do with angels, which is why I've decided to add this to my TBR. And it is Angel Mage by Gareth Nix. One of the main characters in this is someone called Lilith, and she has basically been practicing angelic magic, which is like the most dangerous magic of all, and she is very, very good at it, and she will stop at nothing to be able to achieve what she wants and her goals. And then 4 young people from all different walks of life all end up brought together somehow by Lilith, and she's planning to use them in some way to further her goals. And that's pretty much all I know about it. It's kind of got like, it's a fantasy, it's got magic in there, angels, all that sort of stuff. And that is simply the reason I'm picking it up, is because it's to do with angels. So, well, not necessarily angels, but angelic magic. So I'm really, really excited to read this. I've had it for so long, I really do just want to read it now. So hopefully I get to it this month. And the last thing on my April TBR is a graphic novel, which was also on last month's TBR, but I ended up reading 2 completely different graphic novels that weren't originally on it. So I thought I'd add it to this month's TBR in the hopes of finally reading it. And that is Leigh Bardugo's Wonder Woman Warbringer, but this is the graphic novel version of it. I haven't read the novel either. I do have it, I just haven't read it. This is the graphic novel version. I love Wonder Woman, and this looks and sounds really fun, so I really want to get to it this month. Hopefully I finally read this because it was on last month's TBR and I just need to get it read. So that is all the actual books on my TBR for April, but I thought I'd mention this one. It's not really on my TBR to get read, but it's just something I will be reading in April, and that is this book here, which is in my birthday book haul. So this is called Angels by Peter Stanford, and it is a non-fiction book. It's just basically a book about angels and their history and how they've been portrayed throughout history, and it's just something I'm just going to be reading whenever I kind of feel like it. So I don't think I'll finish it this month. I've literally only read 22 pages of it since like 2 weeks ago, and I am just tabbing it as well. But yeah, I just thought I'd include it because it will be part of my reading month, just probably not going to finish it this month. So yeah, that is all the books that I really want to read in April. It's probably going to change, probably only read like 1 or 2 of the books on this TBR and end up reading something completely different, but I'm hoping to still read at least 5 books this month. We'll see how that goes. So if you have read any of these books, then please do comment down below and let me know what you thought of them. I'm hoping to read some of them. There's just so many books that I really want to get ticked off my TBR now, because my TBR is absolutely disgusting. It's like 200 books long, and yeah, it's just really bad. So I need to try and make use of the time now to get a lot of books ticked off. So hopefully April's a good reading month for me and for you guys, and yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to for more videos, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!